active.
Hi guys, Blake here. Today I'm going to bring you a video about, I'm just having to check because I can't remember the name, the Upwell Covert research facility sites. So these are the sites that are going to allow you to get the blueprints for the ships, materials for the ships, and some other general bits of loot. I might seem a little bit hyped. I've just actually ran the missions and now I'm recording the intro. If you're ever going to watch one of my videos, this is the video to watch. We run the site, we find it, we run it, we get the stuff we want. There's some PvP in there. I may or may not get killed towards the end. You'll see. But anyway, guys, if you're going to watch any videos, stick with this one. Now, let's see what... I'll just show you the fit I'm using. This is just my... This is my combat Proteus, basically. Whenever I use it, it's set up for PvP, but it's quite capable as well for PvE. It's a short-range ship. It's got blasters, but we also bring along, a core scanner probe, cloak, afterburners, web, scrams, all that kind of thing. It's basically designed to operate anywhere. So if I'm going to go to nullsec, I'll take it. Wormhole, I'll take it. Mission running, all that kind of thing. But that's it really, guys. So what we'll do is we'll cut to the main footage now and I'll show you everything that happened. Okay guys, we found what we're looking for. It's the Upwell Covert research facility. It just shows up in your probe scanner as normal. And for those of you that tried it, yesterday, on the day the content was released, it was bugged. Basically, they were really, really rare. And that appears to have changed today, so something to keep in mind. So the biggest problem with these is they're in low sec and null sec. So I found an empty system, but obviously you're going to want to keep spamming descan more than I do. As this is the first one I've run, I don't actually know how well the ship's going to cope with it yet. And it starts off a little bit scary because straight away you've got all your warp scrams, you're webbed. Now the problem with these warp scrams, obviously you're in low sec, so if you see something you don't like the look of, you still might not be able to leave. Now the frigates and things seem to want to play quite close. The problem is the cruisers seem to want to stay a bit further, and this isn't the quickest ship in the world. Now, I do try using drones, but they're getting picked apart quite quickly, so I bring the drones back. Once you actually look, though, the DPS isn't particularly high. Now, this is a reasonably tanky ship, but there's certainly tanky ships out there, so it's not the biggest worry we've got. I think one of the main reasons I like this is it's primarily designed for PvP. So obviously if we get jumped by a gang, it's not going to make a lot of difference, but people just passing through, maybe the odd opportunist person, could well just decide it's not worth the bother. Now I didn't actually realise, I've only noticed this now watching the recording back, you get bounties off these ships as well, so I'll have to go back in later and have a look how much we actually got for that. Now, like a lot of these missions are, they start coming in waves. I don't know what drops loot and what doesn't yet, so I've just dropped the MTU. That can do all the hard work then. If it comes to it and I have to run away, then I'll lose an 8 million MTU, it's not the end of the world. I'm not going to lose a 600 mil Proteus just to save a few quid in an MTU. But that's, as you can see, that's the first wave pretty much dealt with, and nothing's really stressed us out at all yet. If it continues this way, I think your biggest risk in these is going to be other players. It might, depending on what the rewards are like, it might almost be worth using cheaper ships that, if you do happen to get ganked or something, it's not the end of the world. As the second wave comes in, it's very similar to the first. There's nothing there I look at and think, oh, this could be dangerous. Or now things start getting a little bit more worrying. Locals starting to fill up slightly. I'm not really as on the D-scan as it should be, if I'm honest with you, but I'm just keeping an eye out. See, this is the problem now. I'm warp scram, muted everything. My cap's not that high. I'm in no real position to fight, and I don't have the option of escaping. just waiting for these ships to go down now to get these warp scrams off me. They're still not showing up on my D-scan, but there's a point here where I start thinking, well, I've got a cloak, maybe they have as well. And we've got another one in local, and another. So I'm getting really, really twitchy now. As I say, there's no way I'm in a position to fight all of them. But again, this is the first time I've run these sites. I really want to see what the rewards are. Plus, obviously, you know yourself, the earlier on you get this stuff, the more value it's going to have. So rather than warp away at this point, I just cloak up. My MTU's there for them to see. The sights on the probe scanner, so for whatever reason, they must have just been passing through. They all left, so I can decloak and carry on with the site at this point. This has made me really nervous now. At the time, I didn't know how long these sites go on for. Seeing how quickly it filled up, I was a bit, So as you can see, this spawn again, it's slightly bigger. You're getting hit with every type of E-war, but again, it's nothing the ship isn't handling. What I actually start doing is just prematurely burning towards the cruisers and the battle cruisers, because they're the things that seem to want to pull range. So now, luckily, I do say this is a short range fit, but it can hit out to over 20 when I switch between null and void. So there is, it's not hitting particularly hard at that sort of range, but it is hitting. So again, I'm going to keep saying this, but anyone who operates in low sec needs to be hitting that D-scan button way more than me. I know in this case local's empty, but just get into the habit of just repeatedly hitting it. I think it's hotkey to V or something, so you've got no excuse not to just keep spamming it. So once again, we've got somebody in local. I'm hoping the same thing's going to happen, so I've just cloaked up again. Fingers crossed he leaves. And then I get impatient. To be honest, I just really want to know what the site brings. I'm in a combat fit T3 cruiser, so yeah, there are things that can kill me, but I've got to feel pretty confident that if one person jumps in, at least we're going to have a fair fight. The problem I run into this ship is people that want to sit at range. That's where I start to struggle.
You cannot collect your ship.
So I'll pick it up on D-scan. It's a Vex and Navy issue. And then a second turns up. Again, all the time, I'm scrammed, so I'm not going anywhere at this point. All I can hope to do is clear the wave quick enough. And then make a decision, do I want to jump out, do I want to cloak and hide again? And I get jumped on. So I'm looking at this point, I'm thinking, can I take it on? It's a Myrmidon. I'm confident if I get close enough to it, I can kill it. But if it keeps its range like that, I'm not going to touch it. So rather than risk the ship, I run away. Now, I'm quite gutted at this point because I felt like I must have been quite close to the end of the site. And I'm a little bit annoyed now that he's pushed me away. This is how close I am to leaving. I'm actually walking towards the gate. I then check what the ship is, realise it's a drone boat. And then I put my big boy pants on and decide I'm going to go back. Now, I'm thinking at this point, hopefully, first of all, he's pinned down. He might have been taking a little bit of beating off the NPCs. And if I jump in cloaked, I can dictate the range. So it's important for me to get as close as I can to this ship. Now, I do some PvP, but I'm far from an expert. I'm very, very attached to this ship. It's got 6 or 7 kill marks, so I'm very nervous at this point, let's put it that way. I'm a lot braver than a fleet. Now, what I see when I get here, he's about to engage the battleship. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but it turns out that's the final battleship. So I'm just trying to get close to him. Battleships, warp scramblers, drones, which isn't very helpful for me. So all I'm trying to do now is get close. I can't lock up the battleship, and I can't lock up him, because obviously we're both uncloaked. So I don't know how long I've got before he kills that battleship. And I'm not really closing distance that quickly. Oh, there we are, it's just popped up. That was nearly 5 million bounties, that's nice. So anyway, I get to a range I'm comfortable with. Now, don't take PvP tips off me, by the way, because this could have been done better. Lock them up, start getting everything overheated. Finally decide to check my range and get it right. Now basically I want to be sitting on him sort of 3,000, I think it's my optimal for these, or 3,300 or something. I thought it was going really well, but then for whatever reason it seems to slow down quite a lot. I'm obviously nervous about friends. I've completely forgotten about the battleship at this point, it's just there. Now, being cocky, the first thing I try and do is go for his loot. Don't ever do this. There's a battleship there. I've no idea what it can do. It starts throwing all kinds of E-war on me. What I don't notice is it's new to me out. The second stupidity here is I'm approaching this wreck, not realising I've dropped an MTU and it's pulling it away. So I glance up, I'm looking, thinking, why? Why is it so far away? Anyway, I eventually realise what I'm doing. But at this point, I've got no cap.
The capacitor is empty. The capacitor is empty.
I deploy my last 3 hobgoblins. Luckily, this ship's already down to structure. I'm just spamming F1. Everything's already pretty damaged from overheat, so that's no longer an option.
The capacitor is empty.
I can't spare the cap to rep. I've just got to try and DPS this ship down now. Why I'm checking the kill during what could be the final moments of the Proteus, I don't know.
The capacitor is empty. The capacitor is empty.
Shout out to the guy we just fought, because he's put good fights in, and we have a little bit of a chat later on as well, so it was pretty cool about it. And by the skin of our teeth, we do take down the battleship. Now, it turns out, if you look in the chat, when you take that battleship out, a structure decloaks. From what I've read after this, the majority of the loot is in the battleship and that structure. So they're the next sort of 2 things you need to look for. Now, obviously, the ship's pretty beaten up at this point, but we need to go and check, obviously, see what sort of loot we've got. You know, I'm so panicked at this point anyway. I've just done that fight. I'm constantly watching D-scan. And this guy turns back up. I'm stubborn at this point. It's like, I really, really want I want the loot. But if he's come back, he knows what I'm flying now, so he's not going to come back in something that I can easily beat. It turns out I was wrong in that. So again, this is much to my embarrassment. Turns up in a slasher, I believe it was. Now, he's put a long point on me, so all I can think at this point is he must have friends coming in. For whatever reason, he's not managing his range quite properly, because every so often you'll see he actually loses scram on me. I'm not thinking at all here. If I just switch to my long range ammo, I can probably still take that out. All I'm thinking is he must have friends coming in. So all I'm thinking of now is get out, get out, get out. At some point my brain actually switches back on. I switch my long range ammo and actually start fighting back, which I always recommend in a fight. Now if you look, every hit, he's almost dead. luckily I cancelled the warp in time because I was gonna I was gonna jump out and run away from a slasher. So we have a little chat here. Basically, the guy tells me pretty much always runs solo, which truth be told, I wish he'd have told me before. But that's it, guys. So all that's left to do now is check what sort of loot we actually get. So we'll come back when I do that. Okay, guys, and somehow we're back safe and sound. Now, that was a fun mission. Watching it back was a bit difficult because obviously that PvP was less than ideal, but it was fun. So let's have a look what we actually got. Now I've separated the loot, what like things I already had, and things I picked up off the the ship we destroyed. So this is everything we looted. So 27.9 million, and to be honest, the bulk of it is in the covert research tools. And this, whatever it's for, I'm going to guess it's for building this. Now this, presumably, is where the money's going to be. If you look in the markets, there's nothing on the markets yet. There's just silly buy orders. And if you look in contracts, that's all that's available up to now. So, you know, I don't know what they're going to be worth. The quicker I get on the market, the better, I guess. But that's it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was a little insight into what you might find if you actually go into the sites. If you did like it, please obviously like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you all in the next one.